there's a certain wisdom and excitement that comes with being a father at my age. I doubt that at 39 or 29, I would have been so utterly devoted to my children that I would give up writing books for 17 years.
Because in fact, the last book you published, that's an excellent point. The last book you published, July 2002.
Yeah.
It has been literally 17 years since you published a book.
has.
And you're someone who has had an extraordinary career. Your books have been bestsellers. They've won awards. You've been revered correctly by people inside and outside of book publishing. And yet for 17 years, no Tim O'Brien books.
Well, I made a...
Because you wanted to be a dad.
I made a...
Right,
yeah,
you made a
I
decision.
made a choice that you cannot be a good father. The chief requirement of being a good father is to be present. You can't do anything else without being there. And as a writer who would squirrel himself away in a room for 12, 15 hours a day, writing, and then when I come out of that room full of all the stresses that a writer feels, is the book any good? Will people like it? Will I like it?
Right.
The characters go into your head. You're not wholly present.
You're no longer working, but you're working.
You're still working.
You're still working, right.
And I can't be a father again.
You made a choice, and you knew that you were never going to get that time back.
Yeah, and the time will not be returned to me.
Can I tell you something as a person who had a kid a little earlier than you, first child born at 30, second child born at 34. I was comforted to see that you didn't know a hell of a lot more about being a parent at your age than I did. I thought that the problem was, youth was the problem. No, it's hard to be a parent whether you're 30 or whether you're 56 or whatever it is, right?
Of course.
It is a mystery. Parenthood is a mystery. Maybe you never solved the mystery of parenthood, but you're no better prepared to solve it at 56 than you are at 30. Yeah. This book is about you, and this book is also about them.
Yes.
But this book is also about two other things. It's about your own father, and invariably, because everything you write is about Vietnam and the experience of having been at war, it's about that. Now, it is not fiction, it's nonfiction. Your other books are novels. Correct. I want to come to the Vietnam thing in a second, but I really want you to talk about your dad, because your dad is a very present character in this book, even though, as you say, you wanted to turn the page from your own experience and have a different experience with your own kids. But I want you to talk about your dad, because I think your dad really does jump off the page in this book.
Well, I can summarize it quickly. I idolized my father. He was fun to be with. He was funny. He was loved to read. Children loved him. He loved children.
Yep.
But he was an alcoholic, and a bad one. He was institutionalized twice in my childhood, so he was absent from the house for long swaths of time.
Physically absent.
Physically absent.
Right.
And when he was present, he was present with friend vodka going through his veins. It was chemistry. He was not a bad man. And in most ways, when sober, a great guy to have as a father. I'll never know if he even liked me, much less loved me. I suspect if he did love me, his love was utterly silent.
Yep.
And the impression I got as an 8, 9, 10, 12-year-old kid growing up was he didn't like me very much, constantly finding fault with how I looked, the things I did, how straight I could throw a baseball, things like that. I was afraid of him. That I remember setting up an alarm system in my bedroom, 2 little bells and some string, so if the door opened, I'd be awakened. And I remember going up into the kitchen and taking all the sharpest knives out of the drawers and hiding them in my room. Because when he did drink, it was a dangerous household.
Yeah.
The tensions were terrible.